Hi, this is Randy Kirk, and today we're going to talk about the Communist Chinese Party and the Chinese Communist Party in California. We're going to talk about the conservatives in Texas, but we're mostly going to be talking about what is going on in China right now with regard to the expansion of the Shanghai plant. If this kind of content is valuable or interesting to you, please hit the like, please subscribe, and potentially join my Patreon channel. That'd be fantastic. Anyway, what we're going to talk about today is the rumor, and that's all it is, by the way. It's only a rumor that the Chinese Communist Party is in conversations with Tesla over concerns that they have that Elon Musk also owns SpaceX, which one of the divisions is Starlink. Now, you probably already know what Starlink is, but there's three people out there that don't. Starlink is the largest constellation of satellites that's ever been launched, and the purpose of this constellation of satellites is to make sure that there is Wi-Fi everywhere in the entire world, at the North Pole, at the South Pole, every place in between, on your airplane, on your ship, wherever you happen to be, there's going to be Wi-Fi connectivity as a result of Starlink. Well, the Chinese party could be concerned about that because if you have a Starlink dish or whatever they're calling it, a receiver somewhere in China, you will be able to pick up the internet without the Chinese being able to say anything about what you're getting and how you're getting it and what you may be uploading as well. So that could be a concern. I can understand that. I can understand it whether or not there is a Tesla in town, so to speak. So here's the question. Is the Chinese Communist Party even in these conversations? We don't know. There's no clear-cut reporting that says that the Chinese Communist Party is in conversations with Tesla at all on this subject, or that they've slowed down or stopped the expansion of the Shanghai plant. We don't even know if there is specifically an expansion going on. So there's a lot of muckiness and stuff in there. We don't really know all the details. But let's step back just a little bit and take a look at the entire issue of Tesla in China. When Tesla became the first company to be able to wholly own a property and a manufacturing plant in China, that was extremely big news. So everybody believes that Elon has a very good relationship with the leadership in China. This could be a no-no. This could be a negative because we don't want the Chinese Communist Party to have any kind of influence or be able to put any pressure on Elon Musk or on Tesla as a company. By the same token, there's a pretty big positive there because it gives them immediate access to the largest car market in the entire world, as well as creating a very inexpensive place to manufacture cars that would be for export, which is now a large proportion of what's taking place in China and will in the future is export all around the world to East Asia, as they call it in England, to Southeast Asia, to India, to Japan, to South Korea, to Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, just go on and on. Any place where there's right-hand drive, of course, because they're only making the right-hand drive vehicles in China at this point. So there's some big benefits to being in China. Now, of course, there's negatives because it's a sovereign government and they can make rules and change rules and be arbitrary, like California, where the first plant is and where SpaceX has a lot of their facilities, and where you'd think that the state of California would be all about the greening of America and of the world. You would think the state of California would all about bringing the Wi-Fi to the poorest nations in the world, the places where there's no access, bringing in a way that will help the entire world be able to communicate better. You'd think that the state of California would be all for that. But no, the state of California has been all against that. Oh yeah, and then there's the United States. The United States government doesn't seem to like Tesla. They didn't like Tesla before he said he was slightly right of center. They didn't like him when they thought he was left of center, when he was a traditional liberal. They didn't like him then. I don't know why. He's doing more for their this entire greening of the world, this CO2 reduction. He's doing more than anybody else by a lot, and he gets no cred from the United States government or from the communist-controlled government of California, where I happen to live. Now let's take Texas. Now, Texas, of course, is heralded as the land of conservatism and of freedom and blah, 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 blah. And yet the state of Texas, where Elon is building massive facilities, is not exactly a friend to Elon. They're not exactly a friend to Tesla. In fact, they're getting in the way of Tesla because what? They don't allow Tesla to sell direct to consumers in their entire state. So in the place where there will be at least 350, 500,000, eventually 1 million, and multiple millions of cars made, is unfriendly to Elon Musk. So it doesn't really matter where you go. In fact, Berlin, might as well throw Berlin in. Berlin couldn't be any more obstructionist. I think the mayor and the city council there have probably been as good as they can be with regard to getting Berlin up and going. But just this morning, there was reporting, I don't know how accurate it is, but there's reporting that some of the employees at the Berlin plant are concerned that they're getting too much overtime and that they're not getting enough breaks. Yeah, that would be really sounding like not an Elon Musk type factory where employees are complaining about not working hard. This is not Elon Musk's style. So you got some issue. It doesn't matter where you go, there's going to be issues. But we can believe that potentially China, in this particular case, would be partial to the companies that are run by Chinese nationalists and are owned in part by Chinese banks or the Chinese party. I don't know all the relationships, but Xpeng and NIO and of course BYD, the #1 competitor to Tesla, is located in China and is owned by Chinese nationals, in addition to other people like Warren Buffett. but they're owned. They are. Let's call it. China might feel more affinity to BYD and NIO than they do to Tesla. They might be happier if they are successful than they would be if Tesla is successful. All of them are providing jobs. All of them are providing lots of economic benefit to the country. And there's huge prospects for more potential benefit from Elon Musk and his companies in China. But in weighing out the fact that Tesla just lowered their prices dramatically in China in order to be able to better compete with the ICE vehicles as well as potentially BYD, that could be a problem. And if they're going to build a $25,000 car, or maybe it's a $20,000 car in China, the new platform, the new Generation 3 product that they're going to probably make in Shanghai, and that's probably why they're expanding the facility there. This is a threat directly to these other Chinese companies. So maybe the real reason why China's concerned right now is that China doesn't want to give Tesla any significant advantages over domestic companies. I don't know if that's the case. You don't know if that, nobody knows if that's the case. This is all based on rumors and speculation. Overall, I look at Tesla having huge prospects in China as they grow and expand there. Do I think that they need another facility in South Korea or Japan or Indonesia or Vietnam, someplace in addition to China in terms of their production in the Asia area? Yes, I do. I think it'd be very smart to have a secondary facility somewhere outside of China, but they will run into problems in those places as well, as I just pointed out. If you've liked this content, please like it. Please subscribe. My subscribers are growing like crazy. I'm getting a lot of new people on Patreon. So if you'd like to have a conversation about this stuff, I mean, a real dialogue with me about these kinds of things, about the future, please sign up for Patreon. And it's really been great talking to you today.